On today's episode of Time About the Movie, Steven Soderbergh is back with an ensemble cast in a movie about a highly contagious virus taking over, and it should be interesting, but no, it's not. Contagion, and I might be the only one that thinks this, but we will delve into that coming up in just a little bit here. But also we have I completely forgot, the much better movie that came out this weekend that nobody went to go see when it came out. Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, and Nick Nolte starring in the sports drama Warrior. Kevin Hart with his first theatrical stand-up comedy movie, Kevin Hart, Laugh at My Pain. Happy Madison with their third strike in a row this year with Bucky, Larson, Born to be a Star, and Billy Brooks' brother starring with Surinder Swan from Breakout Kings and Creature, which is a movie that does not look like at all it should be released in theaters, but somebody decided to do that over at the Bubble Factory. But then again, it's the Bubble Factory, which I haven't heard from them in a while. But anyway, September 9, 2011, 5 films to take a look at. Time About the Movies.
I'm sorry, she failed to respond.
Can I go talk to her?
Your wife is dead.
What are you talking about? What happened to her?
Could someone weaponize the bird flu? Someone doesn't have to. The birds are doing that.
In 3 months, it's 1 billion sick. That's where we're headed.
People will panic. The virus will be the least of our worries. It will tip over.
It's figuring us out faster than we're figuring it out.
Contagion, rated PG-13, in theaters and IMAX, September 9th.
Yeah, remember when everybody went to this movie immediately when the COVID pandemic happened and thought, let's go ahead and watch this movie, because clearly we will know the answers of how to figure out how to beat the COVID-19 virus with this, and yeah, that didn't happen. Welcome to Time About the Movies, everybody. It is September 9th, 2011, and we have 5 films to take a look at today. So let's start off with our first movie, Steven Soderbergh's Contagion, which concerns the spread of a highly contagious virus transmitted through respiratory droplets and formites, attempted by medical researchers and public health officials to identify and contain the disease. The loss of social order as the virus turns into a worldwide panic, and the introduction of a vaccine to halt its spread. To follow several interacting plot lines, the film makes use of the multi-narrative hyperlink cinema style popularized in several of Soderbergh's films and was inspired by real-life outbreaks of the SARS outbreak and the 2009 swine flu pandemic. So, I guess in a way it kind of makes sense to go back to the COVID-19 pandemic with this particular film, but you couldn't have gone to a much better movie than this. I mean, even Outbreak, which is this literally ripping off, that wasn't even that good of a movie. People just went to see those movies because, oh, it's relatable to what was going on in the world, and if we watch these movies, maybe we can outsmart the virus. And no, you can't do that in particular. And I didn't even. This isn't even something where I hated the movie from the beginning. This came up. It's from when COVID happened. I hated this movie ever since I saw it back in the day. I was really disappointed by it because Steven Soderbergh very rarely misses the mark, and boy did he miss it big time here. This movie is pretty lame. I mean, this is a lousy film. Everyone is overacting their asses off. I mean, Matt Damon in that clip there, when they're talking about his wife, seeing his wife, and the doctor's just like, well, she's dead, and she's just like, what are you talking about? What happened to her? What happened to her? Like can you I mean, Matt Damon's a good actor, but can you overact any more, man? Like, you're bordering on Freddie Highmore telling Daniel Day Kim, I am a surgeon from The Good Doctor again. But on top of that, the whole movie is just nothing but boring talk, and it's just like you gotta make this much more interesting, that when you have a virus that's going to affect the entire world, and all you're doing is watching all these people inside of these rooms just doing nothing but talking and talking and talking. We don't need talking, we need action, goddammit. Something happened in this movie. I never got it. I never got into it when I first saw it in theaters over 15 years ago, pretty much 15 years ago, but it just never did it for me. I never really got into it. I was bored by it. It's almost 2 hours of your life sitting here just waiting for something interesting to happen, and nothing is there. And it's not the fault of the actors involved. They're trying the best they can here. You got seasoned veterans, Matt Damon, Lawrence Fishburne, Jude Law, Marion Cotillard, Kate Winslet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Bryan Cranston, Sanaa Lathan. You have Elliot Gould in here. I mean, how long has he been in a movie that's actually been tolerable and good? I mean, there's a lot of good people in here, and there's just literally nothing to make this interesting at all. I'm not asking you to go into action movie territory, but you gotta give me something more than just a boring sit-down TED Talk with all these different celebrities. Because that's what it feels like it is. You're sitting in a lousy TED Talk waiting for somebody to tell you something interesting or how we're gonna fix this problem, and it's just not there, man. It's a boring movie. It's lifeless. There's nothing about it that works. It's a very rare misfire for Steven Soderbergh. He makes a lot of good movies, but this is one of his few misfires that he has. And I know I'm gonna be the one person out there that says that, because most people do like this movie, and this is one of those ones where I have to disagree with you on it. Contagion really sucks, plain and simple. So let's go ahead and move on to the best overall movie this week, the one that should have made this money that Contagion did, because Contagion blew up the box office in a big way. Meanwhile, Warrior, nobody went to go see it.
Bailed on. I was a 16-year-old kid. What the hell did I know?
From the director of Miracle,
There's this big tournament. We're gonna need a trainer.
what began as an incredible challenge
I got a family to protect. Everything I do is for them.
became one family's impossible journey.
The two men fighting for the championship tonight are brothers.
On September 9th,
You can do this. What are you saying? I can do this.
chase your dreams. Warrior, rated PG-13 in theaters September 9th.
Then again, kind of like with Winnie the Pooh earlier in the year, probably not a good marketing campaign for this particular movie, killed this in the long run, but this film definitely is much better than the trailers let on here. You have Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton as two estranged brothers whose entrance in a mixed martial arts tournament makes them come to terms with their lives and each other. And you have Nick Nolte as the father figure, who actually got nominated for an Oscar for this. Jennifer Morrison, Frank Grillo, Brian Callen. You have a lot of real-life MMA and combat sports fighters in here, like Kurt Angle. And it's directed by the guy who did Miracle, Gavin O'Connor, who is not a bad director overall. And this is a film that I do really enjoy the hell out of it. It's a movie that reminds me so much of the first Rocky movie. Like, it's a smaller story. It's a story about these two brothers who eventually will have to face each other in the ring. And it's a very compelling movie. It's a movie that does keep you on the edge of your seat with these solid performances all across the board. These two really do feel like brothers. You do feel their connection. You feel their problems when they have to figure out, how are they going to enter this whole thing overall. And it's a very good movie, and it's not afraid to go down a beaten path when it needs to. And it's definitely very reminiscent of the first Rocky movie, and the fact that it's a triumph of the human spirit, and not everybody is going to win the day, but you get those little victories along the way that doesn't involve the actual thing you're going into here. It's a very solid movie. It's a movie where you don't want to see either one of these guys win or lose. Like, you really are rooting for both of them to come out of this stronger than ever, and it just works so well. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. One that sadly, like I said, got really passed on out of the box office. It wasn't a big hit. It only brought in like $23 million over the budget of $25 million. It didn't even make its budget back after the worldwide grosses, and it's a shame because it's a really damn good movie. It's one that really needs another bit of appraisal, which I think it has gotten over the years. It's been out on 4K. There's been steelbooks for it. It has had that cult following to it. So I am glad to see that there is an audience building for this movie, because it definitely needed it back then. But I am glad to see that it's getting it now. Warrior, easily one of the year's best movies. One of the most underrated gems of the year, quite honestly. So that is easily the best film of this entire weekend. But hey, a little good Kevin Hart stand-up comedy wouldn't help you either.
I'm emotional. I'm crying. I'm a mess.
No. No. She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
I mean, that's one of the more memorable lines from the show. Experienced a show that quickly became a national phenomenon to get an up-close and personal look at Kevin Hart back in Philly, where he began his journey to become one of the funniest comedians of all time. You will laugh till it hurts. Well, technically, I wouldn't say you laugh till it hurts, but this is still some pretty funny stuff, though. I got to Kevin Hart kind of late on in the game. I knew about him early on from stuff like Scary Movies 3 and 4, and also Soul Plane, where it's amazing that that dude survived that movie, because he was the leading star of Soul Plane, and again, half the people in that cast, you've got to be amazed in the fact that they started one of the worst movies ever, and yet most of them did not lose their careers. They actually got better. Some of them won Academy Awards. I mean, some of them went on to be respected entertainers. I mean, Kevin Hart is definitely the prime example of that. The fact that he survived that, I mean, he's not human. I mean, it's like the critic whenever he talks about Sylvester Stallone. Who could survive Rhinestone? He's not human, I tell you. Like, that type of thing. And in this movie, yeah, it's exactly what you expect it to be. It's a stand-up movie with Kevin Hart doing what he does best, and the guy's pretty good at it. He can be really funny at times. I mean, he has a lot of good funny moments in this, a lot of good stand-up scenarios, and yeah, it's really good funny stuff overall. I won't say this is the best of the Kevin Hart stand-up movies, because I did see, Let Me Explain and also What Now, which I think are better films, but for most people, this was their reintroduction to Kevin Hart as a whole, because this movie was an unexpected hit. It made $7.5 million, which is more than its budget, $750,000. I mean, that's a lot of that's a big gap between the budget of a movie and the box office it made for a film that did not get a huge promotion or anything, but lo and behold, there it is. I mean, it was a big hit, and hey, it opened the door for Kevin Hart to make more appearances and everything, and, it opened the door for Kevin Hart to become the entertainer that he has become in the years since then, and still a reliable draw and still very funny even after all these years. So yeah, what more can you say, man? Kevin Hart, we can laugh at his pain all he wants to, but if it's making us laugh, then so be it. So we're certainly getting a lot more laughs in that film than our next movie, which is Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star. And if you want to see some of the most annoying goddamn marketing in your entire life, then take a look at this.
What are you doing this weekend?
Laundry?
No way.
Homework?
Yeah.
Seeing Bucky Larson?
Yeah. Bucky Larson, born to be a star. Let's get bucked up.
That's all you got to say to that marketing campaign. Just, yeah, plain and simple. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show that. I might have to censor that, but I'm sorry. That was a horrible, horrible marketing campaign for this movie. But then again, you wouldn't expect anything less from a movie directed by Tom Brady. No, not that Tom Brady. The Tom Brady that used to have respectability when he worked on The Simpsons and The Critic, but then became a Hollywood director and became known for such misfires as The Hot Chick. But okay, technically The Comebacks was kind of a fun movie overall, but it was certainly a lot better than the Freebird Seltzer spoof movies. But now he's back to garbage again with Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star, and I wanted to use that joke one last time because this is the last thing that Tom Brady ever directed, so take one last swing at that. So, in this movie, Nick Swardson stars as a man-child whose reserved parents were famous porn stars and plans to follow in their footsteps. Which would work for any other person, but not this dweeby, stereotypically nerdy character that looks so god-awful. Like, it's amazing that this thing got off the ground as it did. And they got it off the ground because Adam Sandler's a big draw at Sony, and he can pretty much do whatever he wants to. This is the third film this year that is one of the worst movies of the year. Like, this is just when you thought that was not bad enough, Adam Sandler will bring one more bad movie to the table in November with the last one we have here, but the film doesn't work because it's just not funny, and it's annoying. It is so goddamn annoying. The entire movie is nothing but is really bad comedy, in a cock-teasing movie that tries to make you think that you got a movie about a porn star, so you're going to see a bunch of porn stars and you hear a lot of boobs and all that. You do not see that at all in this fucking movie. This whole movie is a con. You go in there thinking you're going to get so much more. They lock the door behind you, and you're forced to sit there and be tortured for an hour and a half while watching this. That's what this movie is. That's what this ungodly mess of a film is. And I'm sorry. I'm the wrong person to say that because, hell, Nick Swardson himself even said that if you don't like this movie, you just don't understand comedy. And if you think I'm kidding, I have the quote right here. Here's what he had to say. He said he blamed the poor financial showing of the difficulties of advertising the material. Gee, when you advertise it like the way you did with that, I can't see why people wouldn't want to come to see this movie. But he says, to promote an R-rated movie with commercials with this character, it was just really, really hard. It was hard to get this movie across to people. The trailers in theaters were really tame because we couldn't show any of the insanity, and even if we did it, it wouldn't hit because it had no context. It was just really frustrating. He predicted the film would find more appreciation on DVD. It did not. This thing was quickly forgotten so much. Like, it didn't even make back its budget of $10 million. This thing made $10 million. This thing cost $10 million to make. You can't even make your money back from that. But in the same interview, and this is the kicker right here, I knew the critics were going to bury us because of the acting, how it was written and directed. None of these reviewers were psyched to see Bucky, Larson, and laugh. They go with the mentality, fuck these guys for making another movie. They go in there to kind of headhunt. It makes me laugh because it's just so embarrassing. It makes them look like such morons. No, it makes you look like a moron because your name is all over this puppy, and I'm sorry, you're not a reliable box office draw, man. So yeah, you did this all to yourself, and man, it's amazing how in one movie he makes himself even more obnoxious than fucking Rob Schneider did. Like Rob Schneider, I'll give him this. The man is passionate about the movies he makes, no matter how terrible they are. Like no matter what he does. He's just like, I don't care, I'm going to keep doing them because people keep going to see them. He sells those movies. Nick Swartzen, he couldn't even sell this one movie, and it crashed and burned so goddamn quickly afterwards. It's just like what did you think was going to happen when this movie came out? Like, it's inexcusable. It's an inexcusable mess of a film. It's a terrible movie. It doesn't work because it's not funny. It's not clever. It's not ridiculous. It's not stupid. I mean, it's stupid. It's not the fun kind of stupid though. Like, you don't understand comedy. No, you don't understand comedy you don't understand what good. I'm losing my train of thought. I can't even think straight. It's you that's the one that doesn't understand comedy, because if you think that this is funny, then you are out of your goddamn mind. And it's no shocker that he went back to being Adam Sandler's little bitch in movies, because he keeps showing up in every other Adam Sandler movie since then, and has not gotten any better with time. And it's just like, it's amazing how in one fell swoop you out Rob Schneider with your lack of accepting failure when you fail miserably, because you failed miserably with this piece of shit. See, it's not really much of a shocker with this one. This one's pretty bad, so. Not as bad as our last movie, though, which at least Bucky Larson look like it's trying to make it for the big screen. Why in the world would you put a movie like Creature out in 1,500 theaters?
Sounds there's something there. Hello?
Why? Why is this in 1,500 theaters? Why in the world would you think that this was going to be a successful movie that you have to put it in 1,500 fucking theaters? This movie literally looks like... A DVD is not good enough for this. This should have been a Sci-Fi Channel movie of the week. But no, some idiot over at the Bubble Factory, you haven't heard from them in a while, and for good reason, because they were never that good to begin with. I mean, really, the Bubble Factory really thought that this piece of shit was going to sell to people, and yeah, what a shocker, it didn't. And like I said, it's been a while since we've heard from them. This is the same company that gave us such memorable masterpieces like Flipper, The Pest, That Old Feeling, McHale's Navy, A Simple Wish, For Richer or Poorer, Slappy and the Stinkers, Bad Girls from Valley High. Like, this was supposed to be their big comeback, you know. After all these years, we're going to relaunch the Bubble Factory and we're going to be more successful than we were under Universal. And no, it was not successful at all. You got Makad Brooks, Billy Brooks' brother from Double Toasted, Surinder Swan from Reacher and also Inhumans and Breakout Kings, Amanda Fuller who plays the daughter on Last Man Standing. Who else? Sid Haig, who plays the Epimodes Creature. The Creature's not even that interesting to look at, and like, he's not playing the Creature. Like, he's playing a guy named Chopper in this, but at the same time, this movie is terrible. It's a lousy movie. It's a sci-fi film blown up for the big screen. It's not scary. It's not intense. There's nothing about it that stands out over anything else. The shit just sucks, man. This is just a terrible movie. I don't think I need to tell you why. It's there in the trailer. It's there out there. Like, whoever decided to put this out in a wide release should have their head chopped off. Quite literally have their head chopped off for this. But yeah, what more can I say about it? Creature. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies, and we're starting to get into the time when the dumping weeks of late August and early September are over, and now we're getting into the movies that the studios believe in, and Well, maybe the first one was something that maybe wasn't the studios didn't believe in, but it did prove to be one of the more unexpected successes in a long time. The Lion King comes back to theaters, but this time it's in 3D. A special re-release of that was supposed to last for 2 weeks, but because it went on to become a success, they said, yeah, forget the 2 weeks thing. We're going to keep it in theaters for a long time. But in terms of new releases, we got a good movie out of it, a real good movie. Ryan Gosling in another one of his big movies from this year with the movie Drive. We have Straw Dogs, a remake of the classic Sam Peckinpah movie with James Marsden and Kate Bosworth. I think I got it right. Yeah, I was right. James Marsden and Kate Bosworth are in this movie. And then we also have another one of those comedies with a title that just screams out success. I Don't Know How She Does It. It's an ensemble, though, that stars Sarah Jessica Parker, along with Pierce Brosnan, Kelsey Grammer, Christina Hendricks, and Seth Meyers in one of his few attempts to try to become a film star, which eventually led him back to late-night television, kind of taking the Jimmy Fallon form. But we'll talk about those films coming up tomorrow on the show, and yeah, we'll delve into those tomorrow. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I want you to please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. And also don't forget to check out our playlist and check out the last episode we did. Now, with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.